chick.
Alright. And what do you know about the Kalahari program?
The Kalahari program. I've worked with 4 of them. I worked with 4 of them. Yeah, 4 of them. And I mean, they were cool. They were nice. There was nothing really wrong with them. It's just that I guess their work ethic was really off. I guess 3 of them would always do everything together. That like stuff that was like a one-person task. All 3 of them just did it together for whatever reason. And there's this one time where we had made some fresh okra, and one of the dudes put salt on it. That was devious. I'm not gonna lie. We gotta throw that whole batch out. So that's one thing. And then yeah, and then there's another one that had came, and she was nice. She was cool. She worked here for like a day. The other 3 worked for like a week, and then they just quit. They just left on us. I don't know why. But it's funny. It was funny. Maurice got yelled at by one of them. That was awesome. I guess it was just something he said that made her mad, and he got yelled at. So that was funny. The other 2 dudes, I mean, they were cool. They were cool. It was hard to understand them though. But other than that, it was really no problem. They were honestly slow. They were honestly really slow. So they kind of held us back a little bit, but I mean, we got through it, so it was really nothing.
What about that one girl, Ladonna? She worked one day. How about? You don't remember?
Ooh, I do. Yes. Yeah. No, yeah, she was cool. She was cool. I helped her out with like a couple things, and then Maurice took over. Maurice ain't got no game. We're just gonna say that. He could have been raising her up in the dish room and everything. But I walk in there, and bro was just in there singing his lungs out the whole time. I wasn't even talking to her or nothing. She looked so lonely in that corner. So, I mean, she was cool though. She worked for like a day, literally like a day. And that was it. We never saw her again. So I guess that was, we're just gonna blame that on Maurice. We're just gonna say Maurice scared her away. So, yeah.
So I know you haven't been here long, but you know, what's your thoughts on the Kalahari program so far? I know I kind of already asked you that, but just thoughts overall on the program.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I see what they're doing. I guess it's a good thing at what they're doing. Yeah, it is a good thing on what they're doing. It's just, I don't really understand it. You bring them out here for like, what, a month? And then they're just gone? That's it? I don't really understand it. It's confusing, I guess. And, that's about, there was actually a whole other group that had came in the other day. It was like 4 of them. They had asked for a job application. And we gave it to them, and they never turned it in. So I don't know what their problems are, but they have to have some type of beef with us or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, why do you think they always quit?
I feel like what I feel like it is that they just can't keep up with us. I feel like that's what it is. I feel like that they feel like they're too new to understand what they're doing, and when they see us do the work, they feel like it's too complicated to do. That's why they feel the need to quit, because they don't want to take the time to actually learn what they have to do to work out the job.
And so, out of the Kalahari kids you've worked with, who was your favorite?
Probably Dioka. I think that's how you say her name. Like Dioka, she was pretty cool. I chopped it up with her for a little bit, and we had a nice conversation. She told me where she was from and everything, and I talked to her that whole night. So she's probably one of my favorites for sure. Man.
So who's your least favorite so far that you've worked with in the Kalahari program?
Probably the 2 dudes. They were too complicated. They were too much to like just handle, I guess. Especially since they came as a package pretty much. So if it was one of them doing something, they were both doing it. So it's kind of hard to teach one person something, because I'd have to teach both of them something, because they're both just with each other the whole time. So I mean, I wouldn't say I disliked them. I just didn't like, I guess, how they moved around so much with each other.
Any crazy stories with them so far? Any of them?
Just that one where Maurice got yelled at, and then when they put salt on the okra.
Have you heard anything about Kalahari kids?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard nothing about it. This is actually my first time hearing about the program that they do. So I was pretty surprised by that.
And you think as a business, do you think we should hire them?
I mean, I feel like it'd be good for them to work somewhere for that month that they're down here. But I feel like if we I mean, yeah, we can. I feel like it'd be nice to have extras like with us, but it'll just take time out of our working time to just have to teach them with them. Like, I feel like they come here for the money. They don't come to learn what they want to do. So I feel like it would just be a waste of time to just teach them something just for them to leave with them like we leave.
But do you think the Kalahari program overall is beneficial for them?
I'd say probably, yeah, because a lot of people go. There's a lot of people that do it. So I'd say, yeah, I'd say it's beneficial to them.
Yeah. You got anything else to add?
Nope, that's about it.
Alright, I think that's our interview.
Alright.
What's your name?
Austin Muncher.
And what's your thoughts on the Kalahari program?
Kalahari program, I think it's good, man. You know, they're giving the foreigners a chance, real chance out here in America. America, we've been known to, that's the saying, live the dream, and that's just what they're trying to do, man. So, Kalahari people, they come up in here, you know, they got a job for themselves, so we just really giving them a chance, man. You know, sometimes that chance works out, but most of the time, it really doesn't.
And why do you think they leave so often, so fast?
You know, I don't know, it might be because, like, the new, I don't know, maybe the new lifestyle, or like, I don't really know exactly why, but sometimes they just don't really fit in. Sometimes, I don't know, the work is like different for them, because sometimes English is hard for a lot of them because it's not their first language. So, like, learning how to do all this stuff and like having to teach them in English is sometimes too hard for some of them, and they just like don't pick it up, and then, you know, bunch of guts.
What's your favorite Kalahari story?
Favorite Kalahari story? I don't know if I have any stories per se, but there have been some good characters that come out of Kalahari. We had Andy. He was a cook. He was a really fun dude, chefing it up. You know, really playful. You know, had some good laughs with him. And then got Araceli, another cook. We had these two foreign dudes from, where's it from?
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria? Yeah. I mean, they were cool and all, like, I don't know. I mean, they're alright. They had some good drip, though. Wearing their sweatpants and whatnot. Had their visors on. Pretty tough.
Remember that time they changed together?
Oh, yeah. They did. The first day we were here, we gave them their shirts and their hats and stuff, and I'm pretty sure they both went to the bathroom together. I don't know if that's a Bulgarian thing, but like, I don't know, it seemed a little suspicious to me.
Well, why do you think they quit so soon?
I don't know if it was the schedule or like it seemed like they were cool with everybody, and like they were actually doing alright, but they did do everything as a duo, so like they were kind of a package deal. And then I don't know if it's like their scheduling or whatnot, but I don't think they were liking the schedule that they were put on, and then they decided to leave and move on to something else.
And did you ever work with Yoko?
Yoko, I did. I worked a little bit in her short time. I did work a little bit with her. She seemed alright, but like, I didn't really work with her too much, so I can't really say too much about that.
What about Ladonna?
Ladonna worked a solid one and only shift with her. I mean, she had a bright personality. Like, she's trying to very charming, charismatic. She was trying to raise up the whole staff, like, which I mean, fine with me, but like, I mean, it seemed like she was having a good time, and I mean, like we were having a good time too. And then next thing you know, she just leaves.
Who's your favorite Kalahari worker of all time?
Favorite Kalahari worker of all time? Probably Andy, the chef. Had a lot of good memories with him. He was just a cool, fun dude.
Who's your least favorite Kalahari of all time?
Least favorite Kalahari worker of all time? I don't know. Most of them weren't here for very long enough for me to like hate, I guess. Like, I guess that Yoko chick, I heard she was trying to scrap with Maurice, so I guess her.
Man, you got any honorable mentions, perhaps?
There's a couple honorable mentions. Not really Kalahari related, but like, you know, they came here, had a short period of time, and then got cut. But that would be Jarvis and Paul.
What's Paul's story?
Paul's story. So he actually, if you don't know, we got some trailer parks back behind CE, and there's a couple of families that live back there. Paul's one of them. He's like this 15, 16-year-old kid, and we hired him. You know, pretty quiet kid. He was having a little trouble picking it up, but then he was starting to get a little bit better, but he was just really slow, and he just didn't have any sense of urgency. And one day, one of our shift leaders kind of snapped at him a little bit just to get him moving a little bit, and I guess he didn't like that, so he quit the next day. And then he also said, we also heard this after, he said he wanted to go into the military, but he quit for getting yelled at, so I don't know how that's gonna go.
And what about the man, the myth, the legend, Jarvis?
Jarvis, man. Jarvis, I can tell he's been around the fast food business a little bit. Probably bounced from between a couple places. I worked with him for a solid 2 or 3 days. You know, he was cool. Good little unk status. Just, he did happen to go on like 3 or so smoke breaks a day. And we were working on it. I mean, if he worked a couple more days, we almost had him down to about 2 smoke breaks. And then if he worked a couple more, we could have got him down to like no smoke breaks.
Asking for raises.
He just didn't give us a chance, man.
Anything else about Kalahari? You think Kalahari is good for business for us?
No, I think it can be. It's a lot of trial and error, but there's some diamonds, but it's mostly rough.
So you think we should hire him from now on?
I think it's good to give him a chance, but it'll probably continue like a lot of trial and error, like I said. But I think it's good that we still give him a chance.
Alright, I think that's our interview.
What's your name? Kane, I'm a shift leader. And how do you feel about the Kalahari employees?
I don't really like them, and it's not against them personally, it's just I don't work with them. They just, they work for like 2 days and quit. I mean, some of them are good. We got a couple diamonds in the rough, but mostly rough. Very inconsistent. I mean, some are good workers, but they're forced to quit from the program. So I get that. I mean, they're alright.
You think the program, like, if they weren't in the program, it'd be better for their Chicken Express employment?
Oh, better, yeah. I mean, I just think they're kind of slaves to Kalahari, essentially, because, they have to work certain hours over there, so it limits them over here. So they force to quit, and they have to work hours over there. So yeah, I think if they didn't work there, they'd be a lot better over here, for sure.
Do you have any favorite Kalahari workers?
Gerald, for sure. She was the greatest employee I think I've ever seen. Much better than I ever was. just great all around. I mean, there was never a flaw. Like, if there was like a speck on the table, she made me go back and clean it. I mean, everything was perfect. Her customer service was great. Her English wasn't the best, but I mean, she was an amazing employee. Great work ethic, greatest employee I've ever seen. Better than Kevin, honestly. Just, she don't got that management side, but she could be an amazing employee. I mean, she's really what keeps our Kalahari hopes alive. Because in hopes we get there and really win.
Inspiration. And do you have any Kalahari workers that you haven't necessarily liked?
The past three, Kyoko, Aunt and Gretel, wasn't messing with them particularly. I mean, she was alright. They were doing all the tasks together, and they were like big munching, and I really liked that. She didn't show up twice, so I had to fire her over the phone. Nothing personal, just business. The other two, they were trying to ask for more hours. They wanted to work 7 days a week. We can only work together. I'm like, that ain't gonna work. They're changing together. They're super weird. Spoke some language I don't understand. I didn't really like them too well, but again, not personal though. Just at work.
Would you say the Kalahari program is good or bad for the business?
Our business is terrible. But also, sometimes we're like super dead on employees, and even if they're here for like 2 weeks, we'll take it. But yes, it's very bad for our business, I would say. They can be good. They're outstanding workers sometimes. They're just forced to quit. They're only here a limited amount of time. That's their biggest issue. If they weren't bound to Kalahari, they'd be a great employee.
So would you recommend us to keep hiring these employees?
No. But I kind of get why Kevin keeps hiring them, because we're just hoping for that Gerald, and I totally get it. Because they're out there. We've had a couple groups that were really good, but for the most part, I think 90% of the time, they're just terrible. That's just the sad truth. It's not even that they're terrible, they just quit really fast, and they complain, ask for more hours, we can't give them, try to work the same shifts as their friends. They have a lot of conflicts because of Kalahari, though. That's their biggest problem, it's just scheduling.
What do you think would make Kalahari employees last longer than Chicken Express?
If Kalahari wasn't so strict about the rules that they have, if they would actually let them have other jobs, I think it would be a lot better for us, and they may actually get more experience somewhere else. I think it'd be very beneficial for them.
All right. Any closing thoughts on Kalahari?
It has a lot of potential in the program, and I think it does help the kids out from Europe and Africa and other countries. I mean, it's a great program. It has good ideas. When they try to expand and working 2 jobs, it's not a good idea. That's kind of all I can say about it. Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
All right. Any honorable mentions?
Yeah, Paul and Emily. Not GM's Emily. This one girl, she's 15. So same with Paul, bro. I hired Paul, and Roman hired Emily on his last day. And they're both 15, fresh job. I was like, alright, I'll give him a chance. Emily did some goat activity. Really good. Alex was raising her up, and then one day she's like, I got sick. My parents want me to quit, and she disappeared. Outrageous, honestly. Paul, clueless. He just didn't know what he was doing. He was slow as hell. He didn't like to get yelled at. Not be yelled at, just redirected. He just had no backbone. He's a bitch. Nobody quit, really. And briefly, my boy Jarvis, Cardi,
R.I.P.
aka Playboy Cardi, I loved him. We almost got down to 2 smoke breaks. On his first day, first minute, he asked for a raise. I'm like, I knew this ain't gonna go well. And then he's like, can I get my smoke break? I'm like, alright, clock out. No, I gotta clock out. I'm like, you ain't gonna smoke on my clock. And then he asked for another smoke break, and I'm like, he's like, I gotta go pick up my girlfriend. She has to go to work. I'm like, alright. Leave early. Next day, send him home early again. smoke break. He asked for like 3 smoke breaks. I'm like, God. Third day, he asked for another smoke break and another raise. GM talked to him. AGM just fired his ass on the spot outside because he kept fiending for that smoke break. You know, I wish Jarvis would. We could have got him to quit by now, I'm not gonna lie. But lost cause. Hope he's probably out there still not dropping the album, probably a bum, to be honest. That's all I got.
Alright, that concludes it.
Alright, what's your name?
My name is Jackson.
And what's your thoughts on the Kalahari kids?
Kalahari kids are something else. So my first job, my freshman year, I worked at Kalahari, and I worked at the Mexican restaurant, and they had Kalahari kids also. That's where it originated from. There's this girl named Chioma from Africa. When I tell you, she is the laziest motherfucker that's ever worked. She would sleep all day in that apartment right by, and she would just show up hours late to work. So coming into Chicken Express, I already had an idea of how these Kalahari people work, their work ethic. I'm not saying that's for all of them, you know. They come from a different country, so I guess it's like harder, but at Chicken Express, I haven't really seen many great Kalahari workers. I really don't think we needed to hire any Kalahari, first of all. I think it's kind of useless because they're really only staying for like 2 months, that's max. Unless we could pay them like $7, then I would say it's a good idea, but honestly, they just quit after a week, and it's stupid because we have to train them. They barely speak English. You do get some hard workers, like, I don't know if Andy and Araceli were Kalahari, but they're good workers, and it's definitely possible, but yeah, Kalahari workers they can be dumb, like low work ethic, and just useless to the staff, but they do have good memories associated.
So what's your favorite Kalahari story? A Kalahari kid story?
So I worked with this dude for a little bit. He was a cook. Don't remember his name. I think he was from like Kyrgyzstan or something. I think his name might have been Paul. He was low-key a G, dude. He's a cook. And he would ride his bike every day, and I don't know, dude. I just had a good memory, like, if he lived in the United States, maybe he could have been a long-time Chicken Express employee. We could have been friends, but you know, he had to leave to go back to his country. But he was a pretty good employee.
And did you ever work with Daryl?
No. Oh, I do have a memory of a Kalahari worker. Actually, I remember one. So there's these 2 Asian girls from Kazakhstan, probably the same country, I think. Somewhere in Asia, and this dude Maurice trying to rizz them up. And Mr. K trying to put them on, but Maurice was being scared. Just being a pussy, couldn't get their number, and that's what happened. Maurice was trying to rizz these Kalahari girls up, and it failed.
It's like, her name was like Estelle?
What?
Estelle or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I'll insert the clip.
Yeah, and Maurice just like dropped the ball. Could have had a chance with it. Could have given him a ride back from work at least. You know they're only gonna be here for like a couple weeks, so why not shoot your shot?
Great. And who was your favorite Kalahari worker of all time?
Was Andy Kalahari? Yeah, Andy was for sure my favorite Kalahari worker. He was the cook here. He worked for a good amount of time actually.
You escaped the program.
In the first episode, Alex talked about how he slapped Jamie with the chicken tender, and yeah, he was a very nice dude, always great spirit, cooked the best chicken, honestly, and even when he moved over to McDonald's to be a manager, he would come by, say what's up. Just an overall good dude and a friend.
And who's your least favorite Kalahari person to work with?
My least favorite Kalahari worker was probably, oh man, there's been a lot of, probably like any women Kalahari worker, honestly, just shit at their job. They're like, they just like, they couldn't wash dishes, obviously, because they're weak. Most of them.
Yeah.
The ones I worked with.
Did you work with the Hans and Gretel?
The what?
The two guys from Bulgaria?
The ones that worked recently, yeah. Those dudes
Weird.
probably gay for each other, you know.
Smashing on the low.
It's a, yeah. The blonde one was an absolute, he's a retard probably. He just, the tall one, high IQ, could have been a good worker, but the two of them combined barely could even wash the dishes together. It's pitiful.
And do you think the Kalahari benefits them, the program?
Like, I don't think it really even benefits them because, like, what's the point of coming over for the American experience if you're not living your life? They're just working constantly. They're working at Chicken Express and they're like engineers and other stuff. Like, I just don't really see how it really gives them skills. I mean, I think it might help their social skills honestly the most.
And their English.
Yeah, it helps with their English and stuff. So if they're going into a career path where they need to know English and they want to someday work over here, then definitely I think it benefits them. But honestly, I don't think, considering the amount of money they have to pay to live here and stuff, I don't really think it's worth it in my opinion.
Do you think it benefits business? Like our business?
It kind of does because if a bunch of people quit at a similar time, we have the outlet, we have a safety net. So it definitely could benefit us like during hard times. It definitely, we've had some stretches where we're low on workers and needed someone.
And do you think we should continue to hire them?
I don't think we should continue to hire them at this point. I think we're sitting in a pretty good position in terms of workers, but we have plenty of other applicants that aren't Kalahari workers that we could go to and hire, and I just don't see a point anymore. It's kind of useless.
All right. And that's our interview. What's your name?
JD Marks.
All right. What's your thoughts about them Kalahari kids?
Man, fuck them Kalahari kids, bro. They come up in here for like 2 days expecting like a job, whatever. We give them a job, we give them a chance. They don't do nothing, they stand around, right, and then complain that they have to do shit and then quit. To me, that's ridiculous, and most of them are not from this country, so like they don't really have been taught some work ethic, and they want to make money, but don't want to work for it, and that's kind of bullshit to me. And a waste of our money, a waste of our time, a waste of training time. I trained a couple of them. It's so stupid. It's like they just wouldn't do it. They just stand there and stare at you. They wouldn't acknowledge you. They wouldn't say okay or nothing. And then they just leave.
What's your craziest story about these Kalahari kids?
Man, let's see. Crazy story about a Kalahari kid. One dude came in here, wanted $20 an hour to be a dishwasher during the day, which we don't even have. We don't even do dishes during the day. We do them at night, and he still wanted 20 an hour, and that was just ridiculous to me. And then another one, we were in a rush, and she was just standing there. She just stared. And I was like, what are you working on? She goes, huh? I said, what are you working on? She goes, oh, I don't understand. And I'm like, okay, and I just ignored her for the rest of the day.
And out of all the Kalahari kids, who's your favorite?
Favorite Kalahari kid? I don't think I have a favorite Kalahari kid. They were all...
Geraldine.
Oh, Jeremy was a Kalahari kid. That's right. Jeremy was cool. Jeremy was cool. Jeremy was very, very nice and very a good hard worker. But she did snitch on me a couple of times for some BS, and I didn't get in trouble or anything like that. But
It's just business,
yeah.
not personal.
Nah.
Right, you guys shared a bond over Taylor Swift, I heard.
Oh yeah, we shared a bond over Taylor Swift. I was cleaning one night and I started singing some Taylor Swift, and she started singing with me, and I was pretty lit. Yeah.
And, you know, what's your thoughts on the Kalahari program overall? Not even at CE, but just overall.
The Kalahari program is kind of bullshit because they don't let the kids like work anywhere else because they're on like a visa thing, and it's kind of ridiculous because like they want to make more money, but Kalahari's like, no, you can only make money with us. You can't have another job.
And do you think the Kalahari program benefits them at all?
Money wise, yeah, sure. I mean, there were a couple. I heard that there were a couple of Kalahari kids that were able to pull it off and have multiple jobs. Those kids for sure. The other kids, no, because I've been to Kalahari and you don't really do a whole lot of work in Kalahari. You do a whole lot of standing around.
You know, and you think the Kalahari program has been good to us?
No. Kalahari program has not been good to us because a lot of the reason a lot of the kids left was because Kalahari was like, no, you can't work somewhere else. You can't work across the street. You have to make money with just us.
And do you think that we should continue to hire them?
No. I think it's been a dime a dozen, very few and far between where we get an actually good Kalahari worker who stays. I haven't personally worked with somebody other than Gerald that has stayed and done both.
So you don't think we should continue it here? Like,
No.
Should hire them?
No.
Got any other stories about them?
Other than, no, not really. Other than the Taylor Swift story and being told on, that's about it.
You don't remember Andy?
Kalahari kids, no.
Andy?
Huh?
Andy?
Andy, I never met Andy.
Alright. I think that's our interview, I guess.